But yeah, people were like very concerned in chat about this volcano erupting because I was in like I was here. I was your closest point of land contact. It's just very far away from there. If you can see the scale down here, we're talking um, that's got to be like 40, 50 kilometers or more. I don't know, 50 clicks. I was in New Zealand for like 2 months. It's a long time for that trip. We have some Norwegian hitchhiking signs. Now we're in Sweden. This is Sundsvall, I believe, because I think I remember. Yes, I've told this story before. I've told this story before. This is when I woke up and found out that my tent was on a ant hill. Woke up on an ant hill, so those are ants. I still don't know how. Oh, wait, what? Oh, really poor quality image, but you can get the point. Um, I woke up to ants crawling. They weren't inside my tent, like the tent body, so they weren't on me, but they were like lines and lines of ants at several different points, like crawling up between the tent body and the tent fly. So it's a two or a double wall tent. So there's two components. There's your body, the tent body, which is mesh up the top, and then like protected from the ground on the bottom. And then you have your fly, which is your rain protection and wind protection, which goes over top of that. And they were between the two layers, like the yeah. So I was sheltered, but I'm like, how the hell do I get out of here? I kind of like unzipped the, like I back batted off as many as I could at like my entrance kind of thing, and then opened the tent, and then like ran out. Well, opened it, closed it, and then ran away, and then assessed it from the outside, and then. So what I did was it was easy to unclip the fly, so I unclipped the fly and shook that off. That was fine. And I drug that like I don't know 30 feet away and put that down. And I came back and there was ants all over this thing. So I unstaked the corners of the tent. I'm like, all right, it's free. The tent is free now. And if you just hit the sides of the tent, it kind of makes the whole thing go. So I just whacked it a few times and the ants just went flying everywhere. Which I don't think these are like the biting ants that much, so that was fine. Ants flying everywhere, and then I picked it up because tents are light. Gave her a good shake, and I got most or all the ants off, and I picked up my tent and carried it again like 30 feet away, and then packed it up at that point. It was startling to wake up to, and it was just kind of gotta take a rational approach to get through it, but it was surprising to say the least. But that was in Sundsvall, Sweden, in June, I believe. Now we're in Stockholm, I think. There's a few pictures of Stockholm. This is the first RV I got picked up in. I think this is now we're in Germany though, northern Germany, if I recall correctly. Um, oops. I think they took me. I think we are like Hamburg to Bremen. I think they might have actually, maybe they picked me up around Bremen, and they were going down to like Cologne or something, and they dropped me off because I was gonna go into the Netherlands. I knew someone in Nijmegen. I met them in Newfoundland, and they invited me to reconnect in Nijmegen. Where did I cross? I crossed somewhere just a little bit north, and then I hitchhiked south to Nijmegen, which I quite like that town anyway. Just seeing where these pictures go. They're kind of in the right order. Well, there you go. I hitchhiked with that girl to Rotterdam, so we probably used that as a duo. And wait, can I do? They've got these in in certain parts of the Netherlands. Liftplaats. Official like official hitchhiking spots, which I haven't seen anywhere else in the world. These don't look familiar though, the actual specific spots. So I'm not sure these are actually in Nijmegen or. Okay. You know what? You're not hitchhiking. You just set up this photo for this. No one just sits in the middle of the road like that, hitchhiking. What are you doing? Because if you actually, what? West to east, hitchhike like a beast. So if you actually like look up hitchhiking, actually most of these are actually like half decent, but you get like a lot of stuff where like it's clearly like just like a people want to look like they're hitchhiking, stuff like this. This guy, like you're probably not actually hitchhiking. It just looks like a um, cool picture to get. Oh, Fox Glacier, cool. Anyway, going out to get banned. I got safe search on, I think, albeit that's not perfect, is it? Oh, I was in Switzerland here. I don't know why I included that picture. I think I was in Kur, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Where is that? Oh, that's not Switzerland. That's Switzerland. Eastern Switzerland? Yeah, this place. Kur. Am I saying that kind of right? Does anyone know? Sat in the middle of the road, hitchhiking in the middle of nowhere. The sun was shining there and it was warmer. I guess. Yeah. Bro, yeah. That was when Coke was doing all the different names on them. This obviously wasn't named, but they were just adding a bunch of random stuff to the outside of their Coke things for advertising, and I think it did quite well. It was a good marketing campaign by them. But yeah, so since the pictures are skipping along, we did so yeah, Norway, Sweden, Stockholm down across Denmark. There's no pictures of Copenhagen or Denmark, unfortunately. Sorry. Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Eastern France. I hitchhiked. No, initially I went, yeah, straight through Basel. I forget how to pronounce it. Through Zurich, through Lucerne. Where is that? Lucerne. And then west, like through Interlaken and stuff. It was just beautiful, this road. I love that. I spent a couple days in Sarnen, I think it's called. Yeah, Sarnen on this lake. It was beautiful weather, so I just stayed on that lake and went swimming during the day and chilled. It's really nice. Uh, I don't do that very much anymore, but occasionally I would do that when I wasn't streaming, just because I'm like, "Oh, I feel like doing nothing, so I'd sit at a lake and eat bread. And at the time, I ate a lot of bread, and I had a bottle of olive oil and balsamic vinegar. Love that stuff. Been to Nebraska in the U.S. Yeah, I've been through all 50 U.S. states now. Do you have anything noteworthy to say about Nebraska? Let me look at it geographically so I can try and visualize. Ah, that's why I don't remember much about Nebraska. I got picked up right at the Wyoming-Nebraska border, and the guy that picked me up drove me past Omaha, Nebraska to somewhere about an hour outside of Des Moines. Um, that's why I don't remember it, because the only thing I stopped for in Nebraska was like the guy stopped for gas and snacks. So um, that's why I don't remember Nebraska very much. I pop into a Hofbrauhaus at Oktoberfest, which I went to, which I think we'll get to. We're just not there yet. But yeah, Switzerland, and I went west through Geneva. And what did I do? Oh yeah, I caught a ride to Chamonix from the Swiss-French border. Which border crossing was it? Was it this one? It was a cluster of a junction, but I caught a ride there right to Chamonix, so that was cool. And I crossed back into Switzerland through this road, I believe, a big mountain pass. Um, Beautiful road. Like down here, you can see all the switchbacks and stuff. Very nice. And coming to Switzerland, it's gorgeous. I reconnected up with, I met a person in Lucerne, and we reconnected up in southern Switzerland, around Lugano, in a small town out in the hills here. It's very close to the border. I think it was a Stano, if I recall correctly. Let me see if this looks familiar. Yeah, I think it's here. And I was actually planning on going to Italy. So on that trip, I was planning to go to Italy. And I made it there, and I left my friend, and I don't know, I pretty much see Italy, and I'm like, I don't feel like going to Italy. So then I went north, and I went through Kur, and through Liechtenstein into Austria, and I hitchhiked east through Austria, through Innsbruck, and then was it south there? No, because I can't go south yet. Where was I at? So I did some hitchhiking in Austria. I camped somewhere next to like some castle thing, but I don't remember where at all it was. But that's where I got a ride. Um, I got picked up in Austria by a guy going all the way down to Croatia in a van with Croatian plates. And they were going to this island here called Kirk, to Starabaska here, which is a beautiful place.
That's me. That's me. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I can't believe you met him.
All right. It actually reconnected itself this time. Every other time when it's gone down like that, OBS crashes and it never comes back. I have to close it, and closing it isn't enough. I actually have to go into my task manager and force close OBS because it does not, when you close OBS, it doesn't actually close apparently. Or in this case, because it crashed, it doesn't actually close, and then reopen it and then it will work again. So um, I hate desktop streaming so far. Sketchiest situation you've been off stream. Is there anything extremely noteworthy about that? I've been around people like doing like hard drugs and stuff like that. Picked me up and stuff like that. I had a girl do um, methamphetamine, a hot rail of meth in a car in British Columbia. We had the guy driving this knee doing coke. But before hitchhiking, like streaming, well, still with that, like no one's ever meant me harm. The worst people I've met, as far as me feeling threatened by them, like because like they're aggressively threatening towards me, is people drunk at a bar, not from hitchhiking. Well, like since I've been streaming, we had like the shooting incident and stuff, but that was accidental. I've had many close calls with just traffic incidents. We almost rolled a truck off an embankment in Western Russia. Just came around a bend, and there's a car that had just stopped waiting to turn left across traffic, and we're in a fully loaded, very old truck, but like the full size like commercial truck, and we're not gonna be able to stop in time. But it's a narrow road, and there's just a little bit of hard shoulder. Then there's a gravel hard soft shoulder, but then a steep embankment down past there. So truck driver has a choice. He's not gonna be able to stop in time. It's either you drive through that car and you're going to go through that car. It's not gonna You're not gonna hit that car. You're going to go through it,